Alright, what's good with y'all, man? It's Ty, back at it again with another video. Now, today we gonna be talking about forgiveness. As you can see, I'm at the park again, you feel me? Yes, sir. It's the fit we rocking today. So, a homie emailed me, he was talking about a situation that he had with an ex, right? He admitted to doing wrongs, and it was something that's still sticking with him today, right? He basically said that he had bad intentions of being unloyal, right? I understood, and I told him that he needed to forgive himself first, you feel me? Because chances are the shawty ain't gonna forgive him for doing what he did, that like the situation is over, right? It reminded me of a thing that I had to go through, right? Well, multiple times, man. Everybody has to deal with this to some extent, right? But it's something new that I learned on how to forgive myself. There was a situation where I knew I did something wrong. I was having this discussion with this shawty, right? We was talking about the red pill content. She was I don't want to say that she was a feminist. She might identify herself as a feminist. We both tried to keep it like a healthy debate, but eventually it didn't get to that. It got really unhealthy really quickly. Not that we were calling each other names, but she was letting me know like she hates men, and I was like, dang, why do you hate men? And blah blah blah. I never said I hated women, because I don't. That's not how I feel. But I can't remember exactly what I said, but I was basically saying that her way of thinking is pretty toxic. It's pretty unhealthy. I felt wrong, as in I shouldn't have brought up the discussion. I should have stopped it way before it got to where it was. This was going on for days. This discussion was going on for days because we were so emotionally wrapped in the topic. It was pain on both sides. In that situation, it was easier for me to forgive myself because it wasn't intentionally meant to harm her, right? But let's go back to even before that, right? With the ex, right? There were some toxic things that I did at that time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't in the best mental space, right? I don't want to say that I blackmailed her, but okay, so I treated her like she didn't have a chance, like she didn't have an option to walk away. I kind of felt like I owned her, therefore I treated her like she was a tool and not a human being, right? Now at the time, that was my way of thinking. I was wrong for that, right? But the first step to forgiving yourself, is acknowledging your wrongdoings, right? You can't forgive something that you don't know about. You gotta accept. You have to be aware of it. Awareness is the first step. Acceptance that you did it is the second step. You'll never forgive yourself if you never take accountability for the wrongdoing in the first place, right? After I realized what I was doing that was wrong, I was like, how can I fix this, right? What can I do to make sure that I never do this to the next person? So I started doing I had to do that inner work, you feel me? I had to look within myself and be like, hey, why was I doing this, right? Part of it had to do with my addiction, that goes into semen retention, why I'm doing that. That I didn't like myself. I wasn't happy with where I was in life. I had to change that. That's what the spiritual awakening did for me. I had to be aware of how everything I do can come back to me. Everything that I put inside my body, everything that I eat, that's going to come out in my actions, in my mindset, the way that I think. I had to really analyze this situation. It took time. It's not going to happen in a couple weeks for you to be able to forgive yourself, because you're not able to learn as much as you can from the situation in the past. I feel like the only way you can really truly forgive yourself for wrongdoing, is to come from hindsight and give it some time. It took me some time to realize everything that I did wrong, and also realize the things that I didn't do wrong. You have to take account. You have to see the whole situation for what it truly is. It's going to be harder for some people because we all have our biases, but do it to the best of your abilities. See what you feel like you could have did better. See what they could have did better. Not to shame them, but to make sure that what things did you have an influence on and what things you didn't have an influence on. Because not everybody's perfect. Just because you did wrong doesn't mean that they didn't do wrong, So you want to take accountability for the right things. It wasn't an easy process because I had to break down some of my own values. I had to I basically had to change my own identity. Everything that I thought I was, I had to change that. And that's not easy for anybody, you know? That's when people get defensive when there's a discussion, when there's a debate on something, and somebody calls out a certain way of thinking. That's when people get emotional, right? But you know, if you take advantage of that time, you can really learn something about yourself and question everything that you believe, you know? Because that's the way to learn. You can't learn if you don't question your own beliefs. It's just like saying like you have the best bulletproof vest, but you never tested it, you know? It's not the best if nobody's tested it. I gotta shoot it, you feel me? So same with your thoughts. You have to test everything that you believe in. You have to question it to make sure that it's solid, that it's valuable. That situation, I had to use my hindsight, determine what things were valuable, what things I did right, what things I did wrong. And after I did that, I decided to work on those things. Because you can acknowledge it all day, but if you're not working towards improving those weak areas, then there's no point, you feel me? Once I was able to work on those things, and once I became a better person, in a matter of months, you know, I became a better person in a matter of months, just by being cognizant of the areas that I need to work on. So I make sure that I don't hurt the next person I meet, you know, at least not in those ways. Everything that I have an awareness on, I make sure that those are strong areas. I try to make sure that they're as strong as possible, you feel me? So I feel like that's where you forgive yourself. That's when you forgive yourself, when you realize your wrongdoings, you realize what things you did, what things you didn't do, and then you work on the things that you did do that weren't right. You see that, bro? Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. The forgiveness starts once you start to improve those weak areas, you know? You did wrong. You have to accept that. You have to accept that that was wrong, okay? You did wrong, okay? Now what are you gonna do about it? You know? You have to come to a point where you accept what's going on, and then you're like, okay, how can I heal from this? That's the same way of forgiveness, man. You know, that's how you forgive yourself. That's how you forgive other people. You know, accept it and see how you can avoid it the next time. Yeah, that's what I got for this video, man. Hopefully y'all can find some value in this. Let me know what y'all think about these walk and talk videos, you feel me? Yeah, you know what time it is. Like the video if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. But don't dislike it. Leave a comment if you wish and subscribe for more content from All Seeing Ty. I'm out, man. Peace.